Mechanics Mate, and we're going to go through the various range of LS attachments that we have in your kit. Alright, first one we have is for the original LS1 harmonic balancer with the deep dish in it. Alright, this was seen on the Camaros and in Australia in the Commodores. So now what happens is, if you have a look at this particular one, it comes in and locks onto these lugs in here. So that slots in between them, and what you do is you make sure you rotate and twist, making sure that they touch the spokes. Now that's properly engaged. When you're trying to extract this one, you always want to make sure that you have some sort of clockwise pressure on your cylinder to make sure that it maintains proper engagement. Alright, the other one that's specific for the LS range is this particular one here. This suits the truck style harmonic balancer where it's got the lugs on the outside. So again, it comes in and it twists and turns and it engages on the external lugs there. Alright, and again, this one requires a clockwise pressure while you're extracting it. Alright. Now the other one that we have is our 3-jaw. It's our universal. We're going to put it on the cylinder just so it makes it a little bit easier to show you how to and demonstrate how it works. We've got an O-ring on here. That O-ring keeps the legs engaged. Alright. Now what it doesn't do, it just holds it in position. It doesn't apply any real pressure to stop it from slipping. The design of the part stops it from slipping off. Alright, but you've got to make sure when you put it on that you spread the legs and that you hold it centrally. If you don't have it central, then what will happen is you'll create damage. You possibly damage the legs, the balancer, and also your crankshaft. Alright, and it's important for proper engagement on the back of the balancer to make sure that it's nice and square, because if it's not, you don't have enough bite on there. And it's particularly bad on this truck balancer that we have in here, where it has an external lip, alright, on the boss. So what it does is that lip, if we haven't got proper engagement on here, or if it's off center, what it does is you can see that it's not holding on there properly. Alright, so that works on all of these particular balancers. Even on the LS1, you just got to make sure that you maintain a clockwise pressure on there when you've got it engaged. And the last one that you'll have is this particular one. It suits small and big block Chevy, and also the ATI balancer. So what happens is you've got two options. You can use either the hole or you can use the slots. Both of them require a cap screw of the right size to suit the balancer. And so now what you do is you can, if you use the holes, just put your bolts in, clamp it up so that it's nice and flat and tight, and now she's ready to go. The alternative is you can pre-install your cap screws, then slip this over the head of the bolt and then rotate it, and make sure when you do that it's level. Okay, so all of the cap screws are even. If not, what you can do is you can always come in and just nip them up to make sure that it's ready. Alright, so now that one is ready to go in position just like that. Alright, and as you can see, that's nice and flat on the balancer, so there's plenty of room there. Now all the attachments except our 3-jaw can use the 12-ton puller as well, but this one can't, alright, because there's not enough space in here for the adapter to fit in. So what happens is, if you want to use if you're having problems removing the balancer with the 5-ton cylinder, what you can do is just use the 12 to 5-ton adapter and then twist, and now she's ready to go. There is enough clearance under here for your cap screw heads to use, and as it is on the other ones as well. Right. Now something else that also comes part of the kit is our piston adapters. What these piston adapters do is they allow you to use the 12-ton cylinder and remove the parts properly. Alright, so if we show you on here, we've got an O-ring on here. You just got to make sure you push it in nice and square, they're firm. Alright, so with this adapter on here, and we'll use this particular LS one. Now if you have a look on here, it extends the piston out just a small amount. So now what it does is we can maximise the stroke of our piston. Take that out. So that's what we use when we need to use a 12-ton. Alright, now we also have other piston adapters in here, so we'll just get this one out. If it's particularly tight and you don't like it, just smear a little bit of oil over there, and that'll help it slide in and out better. Now in this particular kit, what we have is we have 3 different piston adapters on here, and these are used for installing the balancers. The first one is short, is the shortest one, and it's the largest in diameter. Right, these two are the same diameter, and they are designed for use with the ATI balancer. We have a deep and a short. All right, so if you have a look on here, the short finishes flush on this balancer here, whereas the deep doesn't. So it's designed for the deeper bosses on these balancers. Right, now the LS style on here, what happens is the diameter is a little bit too big and it doesn't sit on the base there, and it is actually a little bit too small to sit on that ridge properly. So if you have a look, it's loose and it wants to rock around. So if we were to try and install this balancer with that piston adapter, what it's going to do is going to create some damage. We're going to damage the adapter and we're going to damage the balancer, and there's a risk of this not going on square. But if you have a look, it will work perfectly well on all of these LS ones. Alright, so that's what we've designed it for. It'll also work on other balancers, small and big block Chevy, without too much of an issue. These other particular ones can also work on here. They just don't have as much bearing area, but it will still work fine. The only thing is that what you might find with our installation shaft on here, that you may not have enough thread on here to engage it. So this one works perfectly. All right, ready to go.